stand-up comedian on the side, so he's very successful at it. Sometimes at work he'll hit us with like cool body facts or like anatomy trivia. It's so fun. One time he asked me and my coworker, he said, hey, if you could lose 3 toes or 3 fingers, which would you rather lose? Me and my coworker, we go, toes, easy, right? He goes, I don't think you understand. If you lose the wrong 3 toes, you might never have balance for the rest of your life. I go, I don't think you understand. My fingers are my dick. Guys, I'm in Nicole Melynk. No one else the rest of the show. Are you ready for your first comedian? Oh, yeah. And welcome this local weirdo and friend of all cats, whether they like it or not, Erin McClain!
Hello. How is everybody doing tonight? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for showing up. Is everyone feeling okay? Yeah? Sort of a low level of existential dread, but you're still here and you still showed up? Same. So, all right. Long as we're on the same page, hi. I am Erin McClain, and I'm just going to open this setup by saying that I walk. Not just because I know how. I take walks. I take walks for exercise. I take walks for my own good. And when I do, I'm going to paint you a little word picture. When I do take walks, I'm very typically wearing leggings that always have holes in them, because when I wash them, I'm doing something wrong. And thank you. And so they always have holes in them. They're usually featuring something fun and wacky. I have pink and purple horses frolicking on a pair, just to like give you a general idea of what you're seeing. And on top, and this is sort of the most important part of the outfit, and it's almost inevitable that I'm wearing this, I'm wearing a long sleeve triple XL t-shirt, lavender color, and it prominently features Kermit the Frog playing the banjo. So I guess what I'm saying is, I'm an unstoppable juggernaut of human sexuality. When I go and I take my walks. My shoes have pineapples on them, I'm serving, it's okay. So I take my walks, and when I do, I'm very typically listening, not to music, you know, we all listen to something, right? When we're exercising, we don't want to be a part of the world we're in. Ugh. So instead, we listen to something, and I'm usually listening to an audiobook, and it's almost always a Victorian murder mystery. That's my thing. I like to lose myself in a world where, like, the biggest thing that happens in 3 chapters is, you know, a raven chokes to death on someone's glass eye. For real. So I'm listening to my Victorian murder mysteries, and I'm lost in my world of tea cozies and corsets and poison. And then I will hear, like, off in the distance, and I assume it's not directed at me, and I keep on walking. I don't usually do this. I'm just demoing for you. So I keep on walking, doing my thing. And then, next time I hear it, it's a little bit louder. And so, I assume, all right, this is for me. And so I remove my earbuds. And what do? Well, I do the thing that all women do, or most women do, because we were raised to put manners and other people's comfort over our own personal safety. I say either, pardon me, or may I help you? What? That is way too polite a thing to say for someone screaming at you in the street. That is not the reaction you are supposed to have to street screaming. But I do. May I help you? Oh my God, what is this, an episode of Frasier? Calm down. But I do. And inevitably what I will hear is, bitch, show me your tits! No, I don't. I don't show them my tits. But obviously I'm rattled, you know? I'm taken out of my world of, you know, letters hidden in the back of drawers and furtive glances over, you know, a dinner table. And I'm very much in the real world, very much right now. And it's a bummer. But I have to say, thinking about it from a different point of view, I worry that I'm missing out, right? I worry that I'm missing out on an experience that seems fundamental to like half of the population. So I'm just gonna put this to the room. I will not judge you. Everyone else will. Be aware of that. Anyone else want to admit, anyone in the room rather, want to admit to being a cat caller? Cat caller, someone who is a cat caller. Raise your hand. Not to actual cats. To humans. No? All right, well, some of you are liars, but that's fine. All right. Anyone here ever been catcalled? Human? Yes? Yep. And how did it make you feel?
Terrible.
Terrible. All right. It made her feel terrible. And that's a very normal reaction. It is not, you're not flattered or excited. It doesn't make you feel good. But obviously the person doing it is getting something out of it. So I have to ask myself, should I be doing it more often? I mean, more than ever that I currently do it. And I guess my answer is maybe, but I can't imagine that it would look the same way that it looks on, the average male cat caller. Because I'm human. I feel things. I feel sexual attraction, even though it sounds like I'm a robot who is programmed to say that. I feel things. I watched the interview with a vampire TV series like a lot of other people did. I feel attraction, but at no point in my watching that show, even though I'm alone in my home and there are no consequences for anything that I do, at no point in my watching that show did I ever scream out, "Show me your dick!" I could have. Who would have stopped me? No one. But I didn't do it. And that's why I wonder, am I missing out on a fundamentally exciting and fun experience? And, maybe. Maybe not. But I have to say, were I to do it, I wouldn't be doing it in the same way that most people, and especially most men, do it, right? Because when I find someone attractive, what I tend to do, a stranger especially, what I tend to do is find them attractive and then assign qualities to them that I want them to have. I think this is a normal human thing. I think this is just a part of our fantasy lives and how we interact with the world around us. But it doesn't translate well into catcalling, and I'll demonstrate why. So, I would see someone and I would find them attractive and be like, oh baby, oh yeah, look at that big, fat credit score. That's gotta be in the 800s. Yeah, show it to me. Or, yeah, just by the way you walk, I can tell you're nice to your mom. Yeah, you call her at least once a week, if not more frequently. Or, and this is the hottest one, you obviously have a big, throbbing, weekly therapy appointment that you never miss. Because you deal with your issues. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would be very sexy. But, I have to make a confession to you guys. You might have actually figured it out earlier. I say I'm not a cat caller, but I am. I'm aggressive, I'm notorious, I'm constant, I will never stop, and as I age, it's only going to get worse. And when I say I'm a cat caller, I'm talking about actual cats. I have 6 cats, don't worry about it, don't call the city, everything's fine. I do, and you would think, well, she's getting enough at home, right? But you'd be wrong. Every single walk I've ever taken, no matter its stated purpose, whether I was going to get something or whether I was going to do it for exercise, I was really going to do it in the hopes that I would meet a strange cat, and probably more than one. I have, and I do, and I will. And when I catcall actual cats, I am so much more aggressive than any cat caller has ever been to me, than any human man has ever had the balls to be to me, ever. No, for real. So I'll gauge the situation, I see the cat, and I'll eye it, and if it hisses or pulls a gun on me, I move on. But if it even has a neutral reaction, I will assume it wants to be my best friend, and I will act accordingly. Hi, baby. Who's the cutest little baby in the whole wide world? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Do you want me to rub your belly? Do you want me to rub your belly? Do you want me to scratch your ears? Do you want a butt pat? I'll give you a butt pat. If someone said that to me, if someone even said a portion of that to me, how horrified! I would call the cops. I would be like, neighborhood come protect me, gather around, let's beat this person. But when I say it to cats, I don't know, I feel no sense of guilt. Maybe I should, but I don't. That's just how I feel. And I have actually actively stopped my vehicle in the middle of a street. Not a busy street, not the highway, I'm not a nut. But I have stopped my vehicle in the middle of the street, slowed down, and like hollered at a cat, like, hey, are you okay? What's wrong? Is everything all right? And you know, that's about it for me, but I just want to remind you, call your local cat. They miss you and they love you. Thank you very much. I have been Erin McClain.
You can pay by a QR code, so check that out. Buy some Haley Z merch, some FTQEE. There's a lot of E's in it, guys. And then, are you excited for your next comedian? Hell yeah! They are from Livonia, Michigan, and they recycle things into treasure. Ooh, the real recycling. Friends we make along the way, you guys. Give it up for the hilarious Astrid Questher!
Hi. Look at this adorable face. Would you believe that at my high school senior year yearbook, I was voted most innocent and most shy? Well, I was. And I'm going to tell you a story about why my senior class voted wrong. So, there's something that I do that girls aren't supposed to do. It's a 4-letter word, starts with the letter F, and ends with a hard consonant. Right, you have the word in your head? We're going to say it on the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Fart. Yeah! Oh my God. I heard it. Y'all were thinking fart, right? I don't know, some of you might have been thinking spicy sleep. So I'll give you a little side tangent story about that. So also when I was in high school, I got front block bangs for the first time ever. And Monday morning, we're in Spanish French class, and our teacher is like, what's the sitz? What's the sitch? What's the gas? Like, what happened this weekend? And then one of my classmates like looks me in the eyes and she's like, well, Astrid got bangs. And our teacher starts freaking out. She's like, oh my gosh, what happened? Who did it? Why, is she okay? And I was very confused. And classmates just like, well, just look at her. And everyone turns and looks. And I'm like, do they look okay? My mom did it? And then like teacher is like, oh, you got bangs. I thought you got banged. And I didn't understand what she meant. I was like with a gun? But that's how I learned that banged means spicy sleep. But anyway, back to farts. So growing up, the only person I knew whose farts smelled worse than mine were my older brother. I had an acronym for it. It smelled like boiling acid death. It's bad. Mine were in like a different category. Mine were silent but deadly. Yes, it is. And to kind of give you a picture of what mine were like, when I went to a sleepaway camp in middle school, it was like a week long. We're in a room of like 8 to 10 girls. And one of the campers, she was super excited. She had a full bottle of Bath & Body Works body spray. This was before the days of Febreze. And then after 5 nights together, it was down to half a bottle because everyone wanted to use it because my heart smelled so bad. I did not know that I was lactose intolerant. And at camp, we were eating like cheddar and eggs cheese and spaghetti and parmesan. But anyway, people at camp knew that I had really stinky farts. But innocent, shy Asian girl growing up in Livonia, which, for those of you who don't know, Livonia was the whitest city in America in the 2000 census. I did not know this. But basically how that translates is that I didn't really have a lot of friends. So nobody at school knew that I had stinky farts. And so sometimes I would be gassy, but I had to be very strategic with, how I let them go. And so, you can't just like sit in your seat like a good student and just like form this cloud around yourself. So what I would do is that I would find reasons to get up and move around, and then I let them out while I was walking. So I might go and ask the teacher a question about our assignment, then wander around the walls and just look at the wall decorations, read the inspirational quotes, peek out the window, maybe go and blow my nose on the Kleenex or sharpen my pencil. So inevitably there was always a poor guy in class who would be blamed for the atrocity that everyone was smelling. And if I was a decent human being, maybe I would have told the class or the person being blamed, but I didn't. Nobody suspected me, so I let everyone not suspect me for the entire duration of high school. So yeah, like when I got it to college, I did warn my roommate. We did, it was like blind pairing or whatnot. I did warn her that I had stinky farts. And she would, she had a bad time with it. She'd just be like, oh my God, my skin's turning green. I can't breathe. Because we were like in a very small dorm room, and it was like in the winter. She didn't want to open the windows because then all the heat would go out and all the cold air would come in. And then so, oftentimes I would try to like fart outside of our room and then come back in. But then if she like went to use the restroom, she would like pass through it and she'd just be screaming. Yeah, and then I had an ex during college who he would hear her regaling horribleness, and then he was like, can you just like fart in a bottle and then like cap it so I can smell it later? And I was like, I don't know anyone would do that for free. But also, I was curious. I asked him like, how do you imagine this like going about? And he was like, oh, just like take an empty water bottle. So he's thinking like an Ice Mountain water bottle. Just like fart in it and then cap it. I'm like, the physics of that doesn't make sense. That like the air would go in and then get displaced. I was like, you should fart in like a Ziploc bag at least. How did you get into college? Anyway, so post-college, I did learn that I was lactose intolerant, so I tended to definitely avoid sour cream. I can eat like feta or mozzarella and I don't have issues, and cheddar. No sour cream, no cheddar. But anyway, sometimes I still get gassy if I accidentally eat a lot of beans. In college, my senior year of college, my mom was diagnosed with colon cancer, so she had a colonoscopy. And as a result of that, her colon's shortened, and so she doesn't hold as much gas internally, so basically she flatulates a lot. And she owned and ran an after-school learning center that I would help out with. And so it was like after the colonoscopy, basically the center just smelled like her farts all over. And like it wasn't as bad as my brother's farts, but like, this doesn't smell good to me. And but then there was one day that I was gassy, so I went to the restroom, did my business, and let out a 5-second fart. And then I went back into the learning center, and I was working with two like young students. They're fraternal twins. And as soon as I sit down, the brother's like, "You smell like the learning center." And I'm like, what does it smell like? And then he just like points at me, and he's like, half smiles. I'm like, "Does it smell good?" And then he's like nodding very avidly. I'm like, but he also, I think the other point is like, he's nodding, and then he goes, just like, it's like a wide table. He just like does this whole motion, like a balloon floating into the air. And then he turns to his sister, he's like, "Right?" And she just kind of like gazes all out the window in like a trance-like state. She's like, "Yeah." So I guess the moral of the story is that one adult's flatulence could be a child's core memory. Thank you, y'all have been a great audience.
Astrid Questher, everybody! Astrid, one more time, you guys! Are we having a good show? Are we having a good show? Are we having such a good show that you're like, gee, maybe one day I want to do this? Well, I got good news for you. Starting January 8th is the next class. You can sign up in the lobby or at gocomedy.net. Guys, live your dreams. Be like me. I only cry when I'm by myself and at the appropriate times. Try it. And are you ready for your next comic? Hell yeah. This next comic is a wonderful mother of two cats, all the way from Ypsilanti, Michigan, and a delightful storyteller who enjoys being queer in their free time, right? Give it up for Olivia Heator!
Hello. What is up, everybody? All right, so I know when you look at me, you're like, that's a straight girl right there. You're like, that outfit? Wow. No, guys, it's not true. I'm very gay. Thank you. You can cheer. You can cheer for that. Thank you very much. I should have known growing up that I was super gay. There were signs. Like when I was like, 4 or 5, I had this tiger hat. It was like a tiger face with ears, and I'd wear it backwards everywhere. And I was the coolest kid ever. As you can see, I'm trying to be her. I'm trying to go back in time and be like, yes, she is the bomb. So I aspired to be as cool as little Olivia was. And, there's also like in middle school, I had a bunch of plaid shorts. And they were the Bermuda kind, with the down there. Because one time, one of my friends was like, your thighs blind me in the sun. And I don't have a complex about that now. Not at all, yeah. So, I had all these plaid shorts, and we were going on a family vacation, and I put them in rainbow order into the suitcase. Like, the gay agenda was like screaming at me. And I had no idea. I just sat there. I just sat all week wearing my plaid, looking good, not guilty of being gay, but guilty of style faux pas, perhaps. Yeah, I did have boyfriends in high school, as we all did, there was this one boy, his name was Bobby. Oh well, we'll call him Bobby. And I just remember, you think like, you want to be with your boyfriend and hang out. Well, I just remember one time he was like, hey, let's watch Jurassic Park and chill. So I was like, sweet. And when I watch movies, I watch movies. I watch them. You invited me over to watch a movie. Let me finish it. But so he was like, no, let's make out instead. And I gotta tell you guys, Jurassic Park is just like a masterpiece of a movie, you know? And it should have been a sign that I was gay, because I would rather watch humans getting mauled by T-Rexes than make out with my own boyfriend. I think that's a big sign. Yeah. I had this, my best friend in college, or in high school, and we had a pact. You know, we weren't gay for each other, but we were like, you know, when either of us, well, when we both turn 30, if we don't have anyone, we'll marry each other. And yeah. And it was a secret pact, but I told my mom about it. And my mom's here, it's her birthday, everyone. Happy birthday, Mom. But I told her about it, and I don't know if she remembers this conversation, but we were in the car, and I was like, yeah, Rita and I, we're just gonna get married, and then we'll have like side dudes or whatever. Because, you know, gay sex is gross. Like, I said that out loud to my mom. What? I don't know, the internalized homophobia was there. But I grew out of it, you know. I started to realize some things, like once me and my best friend were on a youth group trip. Yeah, we went to the same church, and we'd go for like a week at a time, somewhere that needs help. Turns out, you want to guess where we went? Cleveland. Yeah, they need us down there. They need little gay kids running around down there. Fixing stuff, painting it. I'm not really sure what we did. But one of the nights we were hanging out, we were like, you know, I'm gonna shower before dinner. And I don't know whose idea it was, but we kind of had a group mind, me and her, and we're like, we'll shower together. Right? We'll shower together. It saves water. Yeah, it sure does. And our friends were listening, and they're like, what are you guys talking about? And we're like, you know, we're just gonna save water. And they're like, we should do that too. I'm like, okay, we're in the basement of a church, by the way. It's like a hostel, you know. And so we decide we're gonna do it. And then group mind, I don't know whose idea it was like, we'll wear our bathing suits, but you know what? We'll take the tops off. Yeah, we'll take the tops off because, you know, bottoms, that's gay. And we are not gay, but tops, that's just supporting women. Right? Yeah. And you know, my friend even was like, hey, guys, listen. We're all like beautiful, and like everyone's boobs are good and normal. And I love that, because that was like women supporting women. Even back then. We were there for each other. So yeah, I still didn't know I was gay. Not after that. No, not after that. And but then in, you know, college, I went off and I finally got my first girlfriend. Her name was Olivia. Yay! As well as mine, so. It kind of ruined my name for me for a little bit there. She was kind of a bitch. I didn't know Olivias were bitches. Some of us are, apparently. It didn't work out, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not bitter. She broke up with me an hour before I had to leave for work once. Oh yeah. Cried myself all the way home on the train, because I lived in Chicago. You know, I'm originally from Michigan, but I moved to Chicago for school. And so, Chicago was also probably a bit of a gay awakening. It was very rainbow there, very supportive. And I remember I finally got the courage to like go out and like dance and stuff. And I was out with friends, and they were like, you should ask that girl out. She's dancing with her friend. And I'm like, okay, I can do this, right? I'm friendly, but I gotta give it to guys. Like, this is the one thing I will give to men. It's hard walking up to a group of women and trying to be like cute and buy them drinks and be like, hey, I'm not a creepy man. But I felt like a creepy man the whole time. The whole time. But I did it. I got her number. I did, guys. I got her number. And I was like, yes, the gayness is going. We're doing this. The gay agenda was like, finally. So I went home real proud of myself, and the next day I was like, well, I don't know if she's gonna text me, this is back when, like, are you supposed to wait 2 days? I don't know, we had weird rules back then. And so she texted me right in the morning. I'm like, sweet. And she's like, so, do you know Bobby? Yeah, guys. She was like, you know Bobby, right? And I was like, Jurassic Park Bobby? I was like, yeah, sort of. Yeah, I guess so. And she's like, you know what? It's crazy. I was just talking to him today. He knows you. He's my roommate. And my best friend. I know, guys, I know. All this to really say that I might need some help dating. Yeah, I really do. I think I need some help dating. Yeah, my best friend from high school, she got married last week. Not to me. It's fine. To a man. But we like him. He's a good man. He is a good man. No, he really is a good guy. And she's happy, which is all that matters. But I'm sorry, I'm just loving this baby in the front row. You go, baby, you know what? You go. All right, guys, my name's Olivia.
You're nuts, because Haley's offers a wide variety of different comedy classes, such as ad-lib, bio writing, MC classes. There's also a class on being gay. You just have to be gay already. I'm just kidding. You can be straight. It's not really a class. I'm just kidding. It's not really a class. Stop writing it down. I'm just kidding. She thinks it's a class. I'm just kidding. Guys, and then are you so excited for your next comedian? The love of my literal friend life, you guys, the hilarious Ariel Everett. I was gonna say something.
Hello. How are we doing tonight? Yeah. All right. So I actually got these new dental aligners, so I'm just gonna do a real quick enunciation test to make sure you can understand me. Just give me a thumbs up if we're good. Okay. Here we go. Pussy. Pussy. Okay, all right. I'm glad to see that you can understand me, because that will be the punchline to every joke I tell tonight. So I am queer, but sometimes I don't know if I look queer so much as I look like I never hit puberty. Like, who dresses me? Stuart Little's mom? I feel like all of us can look at the way that we dress and, like, discover a character we didn't even know we idolized. For Nicole, maybe it's like Shaggy and then the kids from Rocket Power, like the skateboarders. And for me, apparently it's the little boy from Stuart Little. So does anybody here not know who Stuart Little is? Can you raise your hand? Oh, we got one! Hi. Who do you think Stuart Little is?
I have no idea.
Okay, no guesses at all.
None.
Okay, thank you. So, I'm but like, anyone else think it's kind of weird that Stuart Little's parents are straight?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm like just saying, it's kind of queer-coded to go into a place full of little boys and girls and leave with a rodent. Like the only way you make that gayer is if he wasn't Stuart Little, you know, if he was like Doug the double-ended dildo, he'd be like, I'm not just a dildo, I'm a member of this family. He loves living in the sock drawer. And when he's at school, his parents are like, you know, adopting this kid was a great idea in theory, but he's just so impractical. But I get it. I get the struggle. I too had straight parents, and it's hard. It's hard. Having straight parents is hard because they literally just lie to you. So my parents taught me that queer people were far away, like at least a couple states over. Probably not Ohio, though. And you know, they'd say things like marriage is between a man and a woman, you know, sex is between a man and a woman. Guys, I never got the sex talk. I just made that up. Let's just say Stuart was not fucking. No, the closest thing I got to a sex talk was my slightly older cousin's best recollection of the sex talk she got using 2 of my My Little Ponies to demonstrate. Horsey style. It was Pinkie Pie and Baby Bouncing. I remember even at the time thinking like, why are you ruining an entire animal for me? But the craziest part is, like, I'm still less sexually attracted to horses than every girl I grew up with. You can always be less sexually attracted to horses, but it's never 0. Yeah. Did you guys get the sex talk?
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Should we do the next joke?
Yeah.
So what I love about that story is that the same brain I used back then to observe simulated lesbian sex right from the horse's mouth, that's the same brain I'd use later in life to eat pussy. Like, if you're not using your brain to eat pussy, you're doing it wrong. You have to approach it like a ragtag group of teenagers in an 80s movie fighting a monster. You just try to brute force it for about an hour, till finally one of you goes, hey, wait! Hold on a minute, guys! We can't out-muscle it. We gotta outsmart it! Or maybe you approach it like a group of kids in detention who, you know, end up having more in common than they once thought. And you write a letter to your teacher, and it's like, Dear Mr. Burnett, you see eating pussy the way you want to see eating pussy. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us has a few fingers, and a nose, and the flat part of your tongue. Don't just use the tip. Does that answer your question? Sincerely, the Pussy for Breakfast Queen. Okay, don't even get me started on Footloose, okay? Okay? Because I can totally imagine a small town outlawing eating pussy, right? Right? But you know, to some of us, like, it's a form of self-expression so essential, like you can't really take that away from us. Because you know, some of us, we just gotta cut loose, bust loose, lap up that you guys know, there's some pretty serious stuff going on. Yeah. But I guess what I'm hanging on to is like, sometimes you just gotta laugh because you're not alone in your pain, right? Yeah. Ready to do some of that? Yeah. Right. So I have this new way of introducing myself since the election, and it goes like this. Hi, Ariel Everett, they them motherfucker. Hey. Hi, Ariel Everett, one of those they them motherfuckers. Hi, Ariel Everett, they them motherfucker. And the reason I'm doing that is because I saw a comic in Chicago tell a joke about how relieved she was, how happy she was when her daughter just came out as bisexual. Because at least she wasn't one of those they them motherfuckers. Thank you. Very messed up, very hurtful. But I was just sitting there like, they them motherfucker. Well, if you're the mother, then no fucking way. A little self-flattering, don't you think? But I think what I really want to say to people like that who can't stand they, them folks, who can't stand non-binary folks, is I just want to share with you, because I think you'll be pleased to know that I had cancer. I don't anymore. Actually just hit the 5-year mark. Okay, but I do get a little closer to a recurrence every time someone pity claps for me, so. Nah, but I do hope that joke is a little bit uncomfy, because I know very well we're in a political climate where there are slogans like Kamala is for they, them, Trump is for rubbing your hands together and doing an evil laugh when bad things happen to them. But looking back on it though, like, I was kind of asking for it. The cancer, I mean. No, I kind of was. Like, you ever do something so shitty, you're like, oh, I remember why bad things happen to me. Nah, shortly after I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, I was walking past a Chipotle with my friend, and there was a girl out front looking like maybe she was raising money for a sorority. She goes, hey, do you have a minute? The correct answer is yes, if you don't want to have cancer. What I did was ignored her, just breezed right past her. Might as well have been like, sorry, honey, I've got big things going on in my body right now. Turns out, she was raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Research Foundation. Yeah. I couldn't stop being an asshole for long enough to cure my own cancer by purchasing a burrito. That's been my time, everyone. Thank you so much.
Ariel Everett, everybody! Are you guys ready for your last student of this student showcase? You better be. I'm not gonna let him out here. You get stuck with me for another 7 minutes. Is that funny? I locked the doors. You can't go anywhere. If you want more information about what we do, there's QR codes all over the place. There's information in the lobby. You can talk to the Haley Z herself after the show, get more information. You can talk to me too, but I'm just gonna ask Haley also. You know what I mean? You guys, this last student showcase comedian travels all over, but always makes it back to sweet, sweet Detroit. You guys, give it up for the hilarious Astrid Calhoun!
Hey! Oh man. So, I kind of noticed something, and I want to see if you guys have too. Have you noticed Detroit is kind of like flying on Spirit Airlines? Yeah, think about it. Okay, all right, when you land, you're like, oh yeah, I just got in. I flew Spirit. People are like, oh, how was it? Was it as bad as they say? Nah. And then you're like, yeah, I'm from Detroit. People are like, oh, are you good? How is it right? Like, I was flying back from Vegas, because that is one of the reasons we use Spirit. Vegas and Miami, don't judge me. And someone stole my wallet. Right, so I went to the attendant and was like, hey, someone stole my wallet. Like, can you call security? And they're like, you got 3 options. 1, you can get on the plane without your wallet. 2, you can stay here and look for your wallet. Or 3, you can figure out who did it and fight them gladiator style for all of our entertainment. And I was like, what? They're like, no one's paying for anything else, so that's what it is. And we won't even call security on you, because that's how we do it. And I was like, wait, have you ever actually had something stolen in Detroit? Because you'll go to the police station, they'll give you a report, and they'll say, no, it's not our problem. You gotta figure it out. Call us if you hurt someone, but the rest is on you. I was like, oh my gosh, it's real. Right, so then I get on the plane, and you're like, it's a little crowded, but I bet this plane used to be real nice when Delta had it. Oh shit, wait, I get the same feeling when I'm walking around Detroit, and I'm like, I bet that building used to be real nice. Is this what they mean by white flight? What? Oh my gosh, like, the similarities don't stop. The last time I was on a Spirit plane, you could buy Wi-Fi, and then once you're in the air, they let us know the Wi-Fi didn't work. And they were like, you can call customer service for a refund. And I was like, what kind of that feels like home. Oh my gosh. Detroit has tons of dead zones. I don't know if you've gone by, but yes, you know. It's like, why is my phone not working here? Oh my goodness. But I will say, the one thing about Spirit, right? Oh, actually, have you guys heard Spirit just filed for bankruptcy? I wonder why too. But guess what? Just like Detroit, they said, we're not about to change a damn thing. We got filed for bankruptcy, and we're still here, okay? And also, did you know that actually Spirit started here in Detroit? Facts, yes. They started here, and then just like somebody from here, when they got a little change, they moved to Florida. Yep, 1999. They said, we're out, okay? We're in Miami now. But like I was saying, the one thing I love is that no matter how bad of an experience you have on Spirit, you always end up going back, right? And the thing is with Detroit, no matter like how many days, you're like, ugh, can't stand this fucking place. Like, you still love it. We're still here. If someone else is like, man, fuck Detroit, you're like, fuck you. You aren't here, get out of here, right? Like, I love my city, but I'm so happy I finally found that vibe, because people always want to know, what's it like where you're from? And so now, I actually live in Macomb Township. Ooh, y'all know, okay? Yeah, it was a big change, east side of Detroit to Macomb Township. Yeah, so when people ask me, what's it like? I'm like, okay, I figured it out. I tell them about this time I look out my window and I see my neighbor, Steve, on my lawn with his lawnmower, arguing with my neighbor, Bob, on my lawn with his lawnmower. Turns out, Steve said something racist. And the other, I should also mention, I'm the only black person on my block. Steve said something racist, and the other neighbors called him out on it. So to prove he wasn't racist, he decided, I'm gonna mow Ashley's lawn. But he didn't know Bob was already mowing my lawn to prove he wasn't racist to the neighbors. And none of them had asked me. But I'm not complaining because I don't want to mow my lawn. I don't. Call it what you want, reparations, I'll take it where I can get it. And you can mow my lawn. But they actually started arguing. And I'm gonna tell you. Like, at first, I was like, yo, guys, you know, teamwork makes my dream work. I have steps. So I need a step replaced. This house needs to get power washed. I got a whole list. A whole list. But I'm gonna be honest, right? Like, after the election, now I kind of want them to, like, fight gladiator style. Now I want to be Caesar, right? I want to be like, oh, no, not good enough. I need more. There was a Trump sign. I remember. Actually, though, I will say, when I was walking through my neighborhood, I actually really liked it when a Trump sign would pop up because I knew someone would be bringing me food or doing a favor for me. Because I've lived there for like 10 years now, so they're like, oh no, we can't have Ashley like thinking the crazy thoughts. Let's like bring her some ham salad. I don't want your ham salad, but I appreciate the thought. Okay. So yeah, when I saw a Trump sign, I was like, jump up. Because we already know where Macomb Township was gonna vote. We already know, right? Yeah, it wasn't a surprise. But I will say too now, I am a little more picky. So now I'm gonna admit this. I judge white people by their black friends. I do. All right. First, I'm just gonna say this. If your only black friend has been trying to fuck you, they're not your friend. You don't have black friends. You gotta go find one. Okay, I know that's hard to hear because you're like, but we haven't fucked. Doesn't count. Still doesn't count. I know, I can tell. Second, if your black friend doesn't have other black friends, it was too easy, bro. It was too easy for you. Don't count. They out here trying to find me too. Okay? Now I will say, top tier, and it's not just because I am one. It might be. Are black women. And this is a black lady secret, okay? So I think there's only like one of us in the room. So don't tell on me. Alright, but black lady secret, we're hard friends because we judge each other by our white friends. Yes, that's right. If you've never met any of your other black woman friends, we're still on the fence. We're still on the fence about you because we can invite you, let's say, to the proverbial cookout, and you'll leave thinking, oh my gosh, that was so much fun, yay! And now we don't get an invite anymore because you done said something crazy. You said something crazy, and now we're not invited. So yes, we are the hardest. Black lady secret for you. I've been Ashley Calhoun, and catch me around for more Black Lady Secrets. And this has been great. Thank you guys. Oh, was that for the student showcase, you guys?
Oh yeah. I didn't realize there was a baby here the whole time. Did I teach the baby some new words? I'm just kidding, you guys. That's the end of the student showcase portion. Those are my babies. What do you guys think? You love them? Oh yeah. They're it. Then say one unkind word and you won't go home with air in your tires. I'm just kidding. And then one more, guys, give it up one more time for our sponsors. We got the Good Helpers Heating and Cooling. Yeah. When I get a house, boy, am I gonna call them. And also, one more time for our photographer, Catherine K. Cagle, you guys. One more time for No Comedy. And remember, there's a QR code for all the information for all the FTQEE showcases that we're gonna keep doing. And guys, it's my honor to bring to the stage the woman without whom none of us would be here. My literal and figurative mother. Give it up for Haley Zurek!
Keep it going for Nicole.
Oh man, I'm so glad you brought your baby here because you just got to see all of my babies. There's a a great pride that I have in being able to do this show. And like, I think that it's a pretty radical and exciting time to be here, or at least that's what I try to tell myself when I start crying in the shower. Things have been a little tough for me. I've always been someone who's very politically motivated, someone who's very politically engaged. Would you like to hear a little fun fact about my life? Yes. Thank you so much for consent. See how easy it is to get it? I was really excited. I think I manifested this. I went to the Iowa caucus in 2020, just in time to get COVID on my way back. And when I was there, I talked a lot about how excited I was about the idea of seeing a debate between Kamala Harris and somebody else. And when I saw it happen just what seems like 10 minutes ago, I was having a great time. Did anyone else watch that debate? No. Cowards. I watched it. I watched the whole actually, that's not true. I watched most of it. But this is the kind of person that I am. It doesn't have to be the type of person you are. But I was watching the debate, and it was going so well that I realized I was getting horny. It was going so good. I was like, she's just beating the shit out of him. And I've never felt so alive. So I turned to my boyfriend and I was like, listen, this is going to be a little weird. But I'm super turned on right now. I think we need to fuck. And he was like, agreed. So we turned that volume up and we went in the other room. And I don't know who won that debate, but I came 4 times. So I would say me, I was the winner. So I'll be really honest, a couple weeks ago, when I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, like so many of us did, and I saw the results, I was impacted. And I'll be honest, I really wasn't in the mood. I was like, okay, I went through all of the normal white people responses, because let's be honest, I think white people, we had a very distinctly different response to things. My first thought was I should shave my head. Don't know why. It looks so good. But it was a thought that I had. And then I had these other thoughts about like, okay, well, I should figure out what color red I should sign up for. And I should, I also thought I should break up with my boyfriend because I'm just going to be a problem for him, all the anarchy I'm going to start. And then I started calming down. I'm going to not be funny for a second, this is true. I was actually freaking the fuck out. I was standing in my backyard in a robe just weeping, like it was the Stanley Kubrick movie. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, how are we going to do this? It was so hard last time. It was so scary. And it was so bad. And for those of you who it wasn't bad for, okay. But it was really bad last time. And I came inside my house. And I'm like trying to be quiet because like my partner is asleep in the house somewhere. And I'm just trying to like be normal a little bit. And like I opened the fridge because that seemed to have some kind of promise for an answer. And the light showed on this photo that I have of my FTQEE babies. I've been very lucky. I've done this now. This is my first group coming through 301, but I have almost 50 babies. And my body just snapped right back. No, but I have almost 50 babies now, and I like looked at this photo of them, and then conveniently next door to them were photos of my actual niece and my sisters, and I started looking at like I have this one photo of my best friend, and he's not here, so I'm going to tell a secret about him. He didn't come out as gay until he was in his mid-30s. He came out as bisexual in his early 30s, and I'll be really honest, when he did that, I was scared he was going to kill himself. I'm not going to mince words, I'm not going to be cute, I'm going to be for real. I thought my favorite person in the whole world to make laugh louder than anything that I've ever done in my entire life. I thought he was going to kill himself because he was so afraid of who he was. And so when he came through, like the son of a bitch he is, he does 6 months of therapy, like I've been begging him to do since we were 20. And he goes on one dating app. And he meets a fucking lawyer from Harvard and is madly in love. They're moving to Oregon. Yay for you! No, but I look at these photos of these people, and I started thinking of my own little life, and I was thinking, my life has been so goddamn hard. There's been so much that I have had to deal with and process and overcome. There have been really bleak days for me. There have been really great days for me. Did I mention the fucking and the 4 times coming? It's been good, it's been bad, and it's been indifferent. And I decided in that very moment that I cannot give up. I can't give up for them. I can't give up for me. And I can't give up for somebody who's so tiny they can't even do taxes yet. And I'm saying all this to you, not to remind you to get politically involved, because I'll be honest, it's some very interesting foreplay. But also because I think it's important to remember that you have survived your entire life up until now. You ever think about that? You ever think about the time that you said something weird in 4th grade, and then it keeps you awake at night, but then you have to remember, like, but you know, I did get hired for a job like 10 years later. I did get to finger bang someone that one time. I think I'm okay, right? And I just want to remind you that you have survived your whole life up until this point. And I want to be very clear, because I'm not pretending that things aren't going to be hard. It is going to be hard. And things are going to be scary, because they're already scary. And the people who are driving us to this hard and scary place, a lot of the reason why they're making things hard and scary for us is because they're not fucking. They want to be, they wish they could be. There's a lot of attention to masturbation. I think there's a correlation. And that's where I decided a week after the election that I should continue to be fucking. It makes me happy. It's good for my blood pressure. You can clap through the whole thing of that. Be fucking. And the reason why I'm saying that is not because you get to do whatever you want to do with your body. You don't want to be fucking, don't be fucking. But I do want to tell you this. Do not be small. Do not be quiet. And do not think that you have to edit yourself in a way to make other people more comfortable. Now, just to be very clear, we shouldn't be following people or pressing against someone's consent lines because we already agreed. Consent is very cool to get from everyone, right? It's very easy to get to, and if you hear a no, that's a great gift because there's somebody out there that will say yes. I know that for a fact because I did sell jars of pool water on the internet. Yeah. Thank you, 2023. I'll never forget you. But I do want to remind you that there are going to be times where people are going to ask you to not be you. Because they don't like gay people, because they don't like fat people, because they don't like women, and they don't like women of color, and they don't like people of color. And I just want to remind every single one of you that every single person in this room likes you just for who you are. So you don't have to do anything fucking different. Yeah, clap for that. We love you. We keep showing up in rooms together, and we keep sticking together, and we keep holding on to each other, and we don't throw each other under the fucking bus, we will get through this, okay? Now, I have 50 babies, and maybe you have 5. Be good to each other, because as a mother, I'm exhausted. Even look at the shoes that I'm wearing. All right, all that being said, I want to say a couple quick thank yous. I want to thank Nicole Melynk again for emceeing all night long. Absolute treasure. I want to thank Pete up in the booth for taking such great care of us all night long. I want to thank the staff out front and Go Comedy in general for taking such great care of us. It really means the whole world to us that you're so good to us. I want to thank Kate from FTQEE Photography for taking such great photos of us all night long. If you need a photographer for your family photos, for your relationship photos, maybe for your fuck you photos, you know the photos that you take to make your profile look really good, so you get a bunch of likes, so people will be like, oh, okay, she's coming off. Make sure you reach out to FTQEE for that. Good Helpers Heating and Cooling. I know that Nicole mentioned them a lot. It's getting cold out there. If you want a good deal and a trusty group, definitely reach out to them. One of my favorite things about them is I once had a bird get stuck in my furnace, and I called them, and they came the next day to get it, and this is how good they are. I heard scratching all night long, and I woke up and there wasn't any more scratching. And I told the tech that was the case, and I thought that maybe something bad had happened, like there was a dead bird in my furnace and I didn't do anything to save it, and maybe it was my fault that all bad things happen in the world. And the technician told me an hour later, wow, the weirdest thing happened. When I opened up the furnace and I took the bird outside, it woke right up and flew away. And that's the exact kind of delusion customer service I need in my life. So definitely reach out to Good Help with Heating and Cooling. Finally, there's 2 more things I promise. Number 1, if you are interested in taking some of my classes and workshops, please check out, I put QR codes all over the lobby to make it easy for you to scan and take. These are great gifts to give to yourself and people that you love, so if you want to check those out, please do. And finally, I have merch! If you like the sweatshirt I'm wearing, or if you would like some stickers, there's a very special person that will be out front. He's tall, he's blonde, and he has glasses. He's everything that you can be looking for in a man. He'll be out front. Stickers are 1 for $3 or 2 for $5, so get 2. And I just want to say, really from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being exactly who you are. Thank you, everyone. Big round of applause. That concludes our show, but we are going to invite our babies. We got Maida, we got Sam and Kim, and Erin, I think you're out in the audience too. Come up on stage, we're going to take a family photo, and then we're going to get out of here, everybody. So feel free to see Ben out front to get some merch. You can close out your tab out front, and thank you all so much. Bye!
Starting shortly, so we ask that you make your way to the lobby as quickly as possible. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Jay? Hey, Jay? Yeah. You might want to try it. Because they're going to be putting, like, scripts and shit on them.
have them get in the costume.